Many yearn to leave an imprint, an echo in another's soul. This quest for unforgettable union often misses the mark, seeking thunder when silence holds true power. Don't turn away. The final whispered truth will transform how you connect forever. Inner stillness. The world teaches us to seek outwards, to grasp, to achieve, to perform, especially in moments of human connection where the desire to be memorable is so acute. We are shown scripts, techniques, ways to engineer an outcome. But what if the most profound impact, the connection that truly imprints itself upon another's heart, does not arise from what you do, but from who you are? What if the key lies not in complexity, but in simplicity, not in action, but in a profound, cultivated stillness? This stillness is not emptiness, not a void, but a fullness of presence, a calm sanctuary that you first build within yourself. Imagine a turbulent lake, its surface broken by countless waves, unable to reflect the sky clearly. Our minds are often like this, agitated by thoughts, anxieties, expectations. Only when the waters calm can a true reflection occur. So too, only when your inner world settles can you truly perceive and connect with another. This inner stillness is the bedrock. It is the fertile ground from which all genuine, unforgettable intimacy springs. Why? Because from this place of calm, you become a space of profound safety and acceptance for another. When you are not driven by your own inner turmoil, by your ego's desperate need to impress or to take, you are free to truly be with the other person. You can listen not just to their words, but to the silence between their words, to the subtle energies they emit, to the unspoken language of their heart. This capacity to be wholly present, unburdened by your own noise, is an immense gift. In a world of constant distraction and superficial engagement, to offer someone your undivided, serene attention is to make them feel seen and valued in a way that resonates to their core. It's not about having clever things to say, but about cultivating a quiet mind that allows you to hear what is truly being communicated. The journey towards this inner stillness is one of patient cultivation. It is not found in a quick fix or a clever trick. It is the fruit of practice, of turning your attention inwards regularly, of learning to observe the ceaseless chatter of your mind without getting swept away by it. Simple acts, like focusing on your breath, walking mindfully in nature, or sitting in silence for even a few minutes each day, begin to train this muscle of inner calm. It's about decluttering the internal landscape, sweeping away the mental debris of past regrets and future fears, so that the present moment can shine with its full radiance. When you meet another from this clear, centered space, your very presence becomes a soothing balm, an invitation to depth. She will feel this. She will sense that she is with someone who is not trying to get something from her, but is simply there, offering a steady, unwavering light. Consider the energy you carry. Is it frantic, needy, scattered, or is it grounded, peaceful, and whole? This energy precedes you. It announces you before you speak a word or make a gesture. An unforgettable connection is often an energetic resonance, a harmony created when your calm, centered energy meets and embraces hers. This requires you to release the tension of striving. The world of doing is about achieving, but the world of being is about allowing. When you allow yourself to be still, to be present, you naturally emanate a quality of peace that is deeply attractive and reassuring. This doesn't mean being passive. It means your actions, when they arise, spring from a place of clarity and intuition rather than from nervous agitation or a pre-planned agenda. This groundedness allows her to relax, to open, to feel that she can be her truest self without fear of judgment or expectation. That feeling is profoundly memorable. This path of inner stillness is not about becoming unfeeling or detached. Quite the opposite. It is about becoming so profoundly connected to your own center that you can meet the world and another person with greater sensitivity, greater compassion, and greater authenticity. When the inner storms subside, the subtle whispers of intuition can be heard. You become more attuned to the nuances of human interaction, more capable of responding from a place of wisdom rather than habitual reaction. To create a connection that she will never forget, you must first become unforgettable to yourself in your capacity for peace. She won't remember the grand gestures made from a place of inner chaos nearly as much as she will remember the profound sense of peace and recognition she felt in your quiet, unwavering presence. This stillness is your greatest strength, the silent power that speaks directly to the soul. It is the beginning, true purpose. Once a measure of inner stillness has been touched, the next vital exploration is that of purpose. In the context of forging a deeply memorable connection, what is the underlying intention, the true north guiding your heart and actions? So much of what the world promotes as intimacy is rooted in a purpose that is, frankly, too small, too self-centered. It revolves around fleeting pleasure, ego gratification, or a sense of conquest. These purposes, born from a sense of lack or a need to prove, can never create an experience that resonates with the soul's longing for genuine union. An unforgettable encounter, the kind that leaves a lasting, luminous trace, is always rooted in a purpose that transcends the small self. It springs from a desire to truly see, honor, and connect with the inherent divinity, the unique essence of the other person. Consider the vast difference in energy between an act driven by a desire to get something and an act driven by a desire to give something truly beautiful. When the purpose is to take, there is an inherent tension, a subtle aggression, even if masked by charm. The other person at some level will sense this, but when the purpose is to offer reverence, to share joy, to co-create a moment of genuine human warmth and understanding, the energy is inviting, expansive, and deeply nourishing. This requires a courageous purification of one's own motives. You must be willing to look honestly at the hidden corners of your heart and ask, what do I truly seek here? Is it to use or to uplift? Is it to possess or to celebrate? The more your purpose aligns with selfless connection and mutual respect, the more profound and lasting the imprint you will leave. This shift in purpose is not about negating your own humanity or desires, but about elevating them. It's about understanding that the deepest fulfillment comes not from selfish pursuits, but from experiences of shared meaning and authentic connection. When your purpose is to truly honor her, to make her feel cherished and safe, to offer a space where her spirit can unfold, then every action, every touch, every word is imbued with a different quality. It becomes an offering, not a demand. This changes everything. It's the difference between trying to grasp a butterfly, likely crushing its delicate wings, and creating a beautiful garden where the butterfly chooses to land, attracted by the genuine beauty and peace you offer. Her soul will recognize this integrity of purpose, this absence of hidden agenda, and it will respond with an openness and trust that cannot be forced. This refined purpose must also be consistent. It cannot be something you simply turn on for specific encounters. It must become a way of being, a guiding principle in how you relate to all life. When you cultivate a genuine respect for the feminine principle, for the inherent dignity in all beings, this naturally infuses your interactions with a grace and sensitivity that is profoundly attractive. She will feel that your respect for her is not a tactic, but an authentic expression of who you are. This deep authenticity, this congruence between your inner purpose and your outer expression is incredibly powerful. It builds a foundation of trust that is unshakable. And trust is the soil in which unforgettable intimacy blooms, allowing for vulnerability and depth that would otherwise be impossible. Memories born from such trust are etched deeply, not as scars, but as luminous threads. So, the invitation here is to embark on a journey of clarifying your deepest intention. Move beyond the superficial motivations often peddled by a culture that misunderstands true connection. Seek to cultivate a purpose rooted in compassion, respect, and a genuine desire to co-create beauty and understanding. When she feels that your paramount aim is not your own gratification, but her well-being, her flourishing, her experience of being truly seen and honored, the encounter transcends the ordinary. It becomes a shared experience of grace. This clarity of purpose, this commitment to honoring the sacred in another, is what elevates a connection from forgettable to truly transformative. It is not about what you do, but why you do it, and from what depth of heart it springs. This true purpose is a silent song that her spirit will hear and remember long after the moment has passed. Sacred energy. Every interaction between human beings is, at its core, an exchange of energy. This is not some mystical abstraction, but a palpable reality. We speak of good vibes, bad vibes, of feeling drained or uplifted by another's presence. In the context of creating an unforgettable connection, understanding and cultivating your own energy and learning to harmonize it with hers is of paramount importance. The memories that truly last, that echo in the deeper chambers of the heart, are often those that involved a profound and positive energetic exchange. It's that feeling of aliveness, of resonance, of being lifted and expanded by the shared experience. This is far more significant than the mere mechanics of physical intimacy. The physical is a conduit, a language, but the energy is the message itself. To work with sacred energy, you must first become aware of your own. What is the quality of the energy you typically emanate? Is it agitated, dense, heavy with unspoken needs and anxieties? Or is it light, clear, calm, and open? Through practices like those which cultivate inner stillness, meditation, conscious breathing, mindful movement, you begin to refine your own energetic field. You learn to release blockages, to let go of old patterns that create energetic stagnation. As your own energy becomes more balanced and vibrant, you naturally bring a more positive and life-affirming quality to your encounters. Think of yourself as an instrument. If the instrument is out of tune, covered in dust, it cannot produce a beautiful sound, no matter how skilled the musician. First, you must tune and care for your own energetic being. The concept of sacred in relation to energy means approaching this exchange with reverence, awareness, and profound respect. It implies an understanding that the energies shared in intimate moments are potent, capable of creating deep imprints. When two people come together with an awareness of this sacred potential, the exchange moves beyond the purely physical or emotional into the realm of the spiritual. It becomes an opportunity not just for pleasure, but for healing, for mutual uplifting, for a glimpse of oneness. This requires a letting go of the purely ego-driven approach to intimacy, which often sees energy as something to be taken or manipulated for one's own gain. Instead, it's about co-creating a field of harmonious energy where both individuals feel nourished and elevated. This harmonious energetic exchange is not about imposing your energy on her or trying to extract hers. It is a dance, a sensitive interplay. It requires deep listening, not just with the ears, but with your entire sensory apparatus, your intuition. You become attuned to her energetic state. Is she open, receptive, joyful, or perhaps tired, guarded, or stressed? Your role, from a place of your own cultivated stability, is to offer an energy that is consistently loving, respectful, and grounding. If her energy is low, your steady, positive presence can gently invite it to rise, not through force, but through compassionate resonance. If her energy is joyful and open, your own clear energy can meet and amplify that joy, creating a truly exhilarating shared experience. This sensitivity is key. Consider the energetic imprint you wish to leave. Do you want her to remember feeling drained, confused, or subtly diminished? Or do you want her to recall a feeling of revitalization, clarity, profound peace, and a sense of being more fully herself? The choice lies in the quality of energy you cultivate and share. When your energy is pure in its intention, calm in its nature, and loving in its expression, it acts as a healing balm. The physical body may remember sensations, but the energetic body, the soul, remembers the feeling of profound energetic communion and nourishment. This is what transforms an encounter from a mere event into a sacred experience. It is the invisible thread that binds deeply, creating a memory that isn't just thought about, but felt, relived at an energetic level as a source of warmth and light long after the moment has passed. This sacred energy, shared with wisdom and love, is truly unforgettable. Deep listening. In a world filled with noise where everyone is eager to speak, to assert, to be heard, the act of truly deep listening has become an almost revolutionary form of connection. To offer another human being the entirety of your attention, to listen not just to their words, but to the spaces between them, to the subtle inflections, the unspoken emotions, the very essence of their being as it seeks expression. This is a profound gift. In the quest to forge an unforgettable connection, cultivating the art of deep listening is perhaps more crucial than mastering any form of eloquent speech or grand gesture. For when a person feels truly heard, truly understood without judgment, a bond of trust and intimacy is woven that is extraordinarily resilient and deeply memorable. Deep listening is far more than simply not interrupting while the other person is speaking. It is an active, engaged process. It involves quieting your own inner monologue, the rebuttals you're forming, the advice you're itching to give, the judgments that arise, the next thing you want to say. It means creating a spacious stillness within yourself so that her reality, her experience can enter and be received without distortion. Imagine your mind as a clear, still pool of water. When it is agitated with your own thoughts, it cannot reflect her clearly. But when it is calm, it can mirror her truth with profound accuracy. This requires practice, a gentle but firm discipline of redirecting your attention away from your internal chatter and onto her, wholly and completely. This form of listening extends beyond the auditory. It is a listening with your entire being. You listen with your eyes, noticing the subtle shifts in her expression, the language of her body. You listen with your heart, sensing the emotional currents beneath the surface of her words. You listen with your intuition, perceiving the deeper needs or truths she might be hesitant to articulate directly. This holistic listening allows you to connect with her on multiple levels simultaneously, creating a sense of being profoundly seen and understood. It is this feeling of being fully received, of having her authentic self acknowledged and validated, that she will carry with her. Such moments are rare jewels in a lifetime. When you practice deep listening in intimate contexts, it transforms the nature of the connection. Instead of it being a one-way street or a performance, it becomes a genuine dialogue, even if much of it is unspoken. You become responsive to her subtle cues, her unexpressed desires, her boundaries, her joys. This attentiveness creates an atmosphere of profound safety and respect. She learns implicitly that she can be her most vulnerable, authentic self with you because you are truly there for her, not lost in your own agenda. This level of trust is the fertile ground for unforgettable experiences. It allows for a level of openness and surrender that cannot be forced or feigned. When she feels safe enough to truly let go, to be entirely present with you, the connection reaches a depth that transcends the ordinary. Furthermore, deep listening is not a passive act of reception. It is also about reflecting back what you hear, not as interpretation or judgment, but as a confirmation of understanding. Sometimes this is through gentle, open-ended questions that invite further exploration. Sometimes it's through a nod, a soft gaze, a mirroring of emotion that says, "I am with you, I understand." This creates a loop of connection, a feedback mechanism where she feels her reality being validated and her presence being honored. It's in these subtle, attuned interactions that the true magic of connection unfolds. She won't remember all the words that were said, but she will never forget the feeling of being deeply listened to, profoundly understood, and utterly cherished by your attentive presence. That in itself is a love language of the highest order, creating an echo that resonates long and true. Mindful touch. In the tapestry of human connection, touch is a language of profound power. It can communicate what words cannot, bridging the space between two souls with an immediacy that is both primal and sacred. Yet, so often, touch is unthinking, automatic, driven by habit or agenda rather than presence. To make an encounter truly unforgettable, the quality of your touch must be elevated. It must become mindful touch, touch that is imbued with awareness, reverence, intention, and a deep listening to the body of the other. This is not about complex techniques. It is about the spirit with which you touch, the full presence you bring to each point of contact, transforming the physical into a conduit for profound energetic and emotional connection. Mindful touch begins long before physical contact. It starts with a state of inner presence and a genuine respect for the other person's sovereignty and sacredness. When you approach with a heart full of honor and an intention to give, not just to take, this energy is subtly communicated and creates a field of safety. Before your hand even meets her skin, she can sense the quality of your intention. Is it hurried, demanding, objectifying, or is it patient, respectful, and cherishing? This inner preparation is crucial because the body has its own wisdom. It senses incongruence between outward action and inner state. When your touch arises from a place of genuine care and mindfulness, it feels entirely different. It feels like an offering, a blessing. Each moment of physical contact then becomes an opportunity for deep presence. Instead of your mind being elsewhere, planning the next move, evaluating the experience, or lost in fantasy, you bring your full attention to the sensation of touch itself, the texture of her skin, the warmth, the subtle response of her body. You breathe with awareness, allowing your breath to deepen and relax, which in turn helps her to relax. You listen with your fingertips, sensing where there is tension, where there is openness, what kind of touch is welcomed, what is not. This is a dialogue without words. Her body will tell you everything you need to know if you are truly present and attuned. This sensitivity, this responsiveness, is what makes touch feel truly connected and profoundly nourishing. Mindful touch is also characterized by its unhurried nature. In a world that often rushes, taking the time to explore and appreciate the landscape of her body with reverence and patience is a radical act of love. There is no goal to achieve, no race to win. The journey itself, each unfolding moment of shared sensation, is the purpose. This allows for a deeper level of relaxation and receptivity in both of you. When she feels that you are not rushing towards an endpoint, but are fully engaged in the beauty of the present moment's connection, she can surrender more completely to the experience, allowing for a far deeper and more resonant intimacy. It's this quality of timelessness, of being fully immersed in the sacred present, that imprints itself on the memory. Ultimately, mindful touch is an expression of love and reverence. It acknowledges the body not merely as a source of pleasure, but as a sacred vessel, a temple deserving of the utmost care and respect. When you touch her with this understanding, every caress, every embrace becomes an act of devotion. She will feel not just physically stimulated, but emotionally seen, spiritually acknowledged, and deeply cherished. This is the quality of touch that lingers in the soul, not just as a fleeting sensation, but as a profound affirmation of her worth, her beauty, her being. It's not about what you do with your hands, but the heart that guides them. Touch offered with such mindful presence, such deep respect, becomes a healing art, a form of communion that she will indeed never forget. Shared presence. Beyond the individual cultivation of stillness or purpose, beyond the specific expressions of listening or touch, lies the synergistic magic of shared presence. This is the art of two individuals coming together, both anchored in their own awareness, to co-create a field of connection that is greater than the sum of its parts. It is in this unified field that the most profoundly unforgettable experiences are born. Moments where time seems to dissolve, where egoic boundaries soften, and a sense of oneness, of deep, harmonious resonance prevails. This is not something that can be forced or manufactured through technique alone. It arises organically when both individuals meet in a state of open-hearted, non-judgmental awareness. Shared presence begins with the mutual intention to be fully with each other, not just physically in the same space, but mentally, emotionally, and energetically engaged. It means both partners willingly set aside distractions, worries, and agendas to focus completely on the shared now. This creates an immediate shift in the energetic atmosphere. A palpable sense of intimacy and focus emerges. When you offer your complete presence and she offers hers, a container is formed, a sacred space where authentic connection can flourish. This is a conscious choice, a commitment to honoring the moment and each other by bringing your whole selves to the encounter. Within this field of shared presence, communication transcends the verbal. There is a deep, intuitive understanding that flows between you. You become attuned to each other's rhythms, the rhythm of breath, the rhythm of subtle, energetic shifts, the unspoken desires and boundaries. It's like a dance where both partners are so perfectly synchronized that they seem to move as one, anticipating and responding to each other with effortless grace. This doesn't mean there's no effort involved in cultivating the capacity for such presence, but in the moment itself, it can feel like a flowing, natural state of being. This deep attunement is what makes an interaction feel magical, almost telepathic, because you are connecting on a level far deeper than surface appearances. The ego tends to diminish in moments of true shared presence. The need to perform, to be seen in a certain way, to control the outcome, these concerns fade into the background. What emerges is a more authentic self, a willingness to be vulnerable and real. When both partners feel safe enough to lower their masks, to meet heart to heart, spirit to spirit, the connection is profound. This shared vulnerability is not weakness. It is the courage to be seen in one's entirety and to see another in theirs. In such moments, judgments dissolve, replaced by acceptance and compassion. The feeling of being truly accepted, flaws and all, within a space of shared loving presence is incredibly healing and affirming, etching itself deeply into memory. Ultimately, the power of shared presence lies in its ability to facilitate an experience of union, not just physical, but a sense of spiritual and emotional oneness. These are the moments that often feel transcendent, where the illusion of separation momentarily lifts. She will remember not just what you did or said, but the overwhelming feeling of being utterly connected, profoundly met, and part of something beautiful and sacred. This is not about achieving a particular state, but about allowing the natural communion that occurs when two open hearts and present minds come together. Cultivating this ability to co-create moments of deep shared presence is to offer an experience that nourishes the soul, an unforgettable gift of true human connection, felt long after the interaction concludes, like a beautiful, resonant chord. Ego's shadow. In the pursuit of creating unforgettable connections, one of the most significant inner obstacles we face is the shadow of the ego. The ego, that part of us concerned with self-image, with being right, with being perceived in a certain way, can subtly, or not so subtly, sabotage our best intentions for genuine intimacy. It craves validation, seeks control, and fears vulnerability. When the ego is unconsciously driving our interactions, especially in moments of desired closeness, the connection often remains superficial, performative, and ultimately unfulfilling and forgettable. To truly reach the heart of another, we must become aware of the ego's machinations and learn to gently step beyond its grip. The ego often manifests in a need to impress. It whispers that we must be clever, charming, experienced, or physically perfect to be desired or remembered. This leads to a kind of internal performance where we are more focused on the script we are enacting than on being genuinely present with the other person. She will sense this, even if unconsciously. A performance, however polished, lacks the warmth and authenticity of a real human being showing up as they are. The unforgettable connection arises not from a flawless presentation, but from the raw, honest beauty of two souls meeting without pretense. Letting go of the need to impress allows for genuine curiosity and appreciation of the other person to emerge. Another shadow of the ego is its desire for control. It wants to manage the situation, to direct the outcome, to ensure its needs are met. This can translate into being overly directive, insensitive to the other person's cues, or subtly manipulative. True connection, however, flourishes in an atmosphere of freedom and mutual respect, not control. It's a dance, not a battle of wills. When you relinquish the need to control the flow and instead learn to surrender to the shared present moment, allowing the connection to unfold organically, a far deeper and more harmonious experience becomes possible. She will feel the space you give her to be herself, to express her own desires, and this feeling of freedom and respect is profoundly attractive and memorable. And The ego also fears vulnerability. It sees openness as weakness, a potential for being hurt or rejected. So it builds walls, wears masks, and keeps others at a safe distance, even while craving closeness. But unforgettable intimacy is built on a foundation of trust and vulnerability. It is in the willingness to be truly seen with all our imperfections and to truly see another in the same way that the deepest bonds are forged. When you have the courage to let your authentic self be present, without the ego's armor, you invite her to do the same. This shared vulnerability is not a risk to be avoided, but a sacred doorway to profound connection. A space where hearts can truly meet and recognize each other. That recognition is unforgettable. Transcending the ego's shadow is not about destroying the ego, it has its function, but about learning not to be driven by it in moments that call for heart-centered presence. It requires ongoing self-awareness, a willingness to observe your own thoughts and motivations without judgment. When you catch the ego trying to take the lead with its anxieties and agendas, you can gently acknowledge it and then choose to act from a deeper, more centered place, from your heart, from your authentic self. The more you can meet her from this egoless space, offering genuine presence, acceptance, and a willingness to connect soul to soul, the more profound and lasting the imprint you will leave. She will remember not a performance, but the rare gift of authentic, heartfelt human connection, free from the ego's distracting noise. Soul resonance, beyond the physical, beyond even the emotional, lies a realm of connection that can only be described as soul resonance. This is the experience where two spirits seem to recognize each other, to vibrate on a similar frequency, creating a sense of profound harmony, understanding, and homecoming. Such moments are rare and precious, and they form the very fabric of unforgettable intimacy. This is not something that can be manufactured with techniques, but it can be invited, cultivated, by bringing the entirety of your authentic, awakened self to the encounter. When the veils of personality and ego are thinned, the soul's light can shine through, and it is this light that another soul most deeply recognizes and remembers. Soul resonance occurs when the connection moves beyond the superficial layers of interaction, the polite conversation, the social roles, and touches the essential core of each person. It's a feeling of being seen at your deepest level, understood without needing to explain, and accepted for who you truly are. This requires a profound level of presence from both individuals, an ability to meet each other in a space of stillness and openness, where the subtle energies and the unspoken language of the heart can be perceived. When your inner work has led you to a place of greater self-acceptance and authenticity, you are more capable of offering this kind of deep seeing to another. The pathway to inviting soul resonance involves cultivating qualities like compassion, empathy, and unconditional positive regard. When you approach another with a genuine desire to understand their inner world, to feel with them, and to cherish their unique essence, you create an energetic field that is conducive to this deeper connection. It is about listening with your soul, looking with your soul, touching with your soul. This means engaging not just with her physical form or her personality, but with the eternal spark within her. This recognition, often felt as a deep sense of peace, joy, or profound rightness, is what distinguishes a merely pleasant encounter from one that feels sacred and life-changing. Often, soul resonance is facilitated by shared vulnerability. When both individuals feel safe enough to lower their defenses, to share their hopes, fears, dreams, and even their wounds, the common humanity, the shared spiritual journey, becomes apparent. In these moments of authentic self-revelation, the superficial differences fall away, and the underlying unity, the shared essence of being, can be experienced. It is this taste of unity, this glimpse of a connection that transcends the mundane, that the soul longs for and remembers with profound clarity. It's like two musical notes that, when sounded together, create a harmony that is more beautiful and resonant than either note alone. An encounter that touches this level of soul resonance is never forgotten because it nourishes the deepest part of us. It leaves an imprint not just on the mind or the emotions, but on the spirit itself. She will remember the feeling of being truly met, of having her soul acknowledged and celebrated. This kind of connection has a timeless quality. It feels as though it has always been and will always be. To strive for this is not to seek an esoteric experience, but to aim for the most authentic and profound level of human connection possible. It is to offer the gift of your own awakened heart, creating a space where two souls can truly meet and dance, leaving an echo of beauty and grace that endures. This resonance is the hallmark of a truly sacred and unforgettable union. Lasting echo. What is it that truly creates a lasting echo in the memory and heart of another, especially in the context of intimate connection? It is rarely the flashiest moments, the most dramatic gestures, or the most technically perfect performances. More often, the experiences that lodge themselves deeply within us, that become cherished touchstones, are those that made us feel a profound sense of being seen, valued, respected, and uplifted. It is the quality of presence, the purity of intention, and the depth of genuine human warmth that resonates long after the specific details of an encounter may fade. Creating a lasting echo is about imprinting a feeling, an essence, rather than just a series of events. The foundation of a lasting echo is safety, not just physical safety, which is paramount, but emotional and spiritual safety. When a woman feels truly safe with you, safe to be vulnerable, safe to be her authentic self, safe from judgment or expectation, she can open in ways that are profound. This feeling of safety is built through consistent respect, deep listening, mindful presence, and an unwavering commitment to her well-being. It's the sense that you are a harbor, a sanctuary where her spirit can rest and be nourished. This feeling, once experienced, is not easily forgotten. It becomes a benchmark for what true, respectful connection feels like, and your role in creating that space will be remembered with gratitude. Another crucial element is the feeling of being genuinely cherished. This goes beyond mere attraction or desire. To cherish someone is to hold them as precious, to honor their unique qualities, to delight in their being. When your actions, your words, your gaze, and your touch all convey this deep sense of appreciation and reverence, it communicates a powerful message of worth. Many people move through the world feeling unseen or undervalued. To encounter someone who truly sees and cherishes your light is a transformative experience. This feeling of being held in such high, loving regard sinks deep into the heart and becomes a source of inner strength and joy, an echo that continually affirms her value. The quality of the shared energy also contributes significantly to a lasting echo. If the energetic exchange was one that left her feeling uplifted, revitalized, and more alive, that positive resonance will endure. This comes from bringing your own clear, positive, and loving energy to the encounter, and from engaging in a way that is mutually nourishing rather than draining. Encounters that elevate the spirit, that inspire a sense of joy, peace, or expansion are inherently memorable because they touch our deepest longing for connection and vitality. She will recall not just the moments themselves, but the positive shift in her own state of being that your connection facilitated. This lingering energetic signature is a powerful component of an unforgettable experience. Ultimately, a lasting echo is created when an encounter touches the soul. This happens when the connection transcends the purely physical or transactional and becomes a meeting of spirits, a shared experience of authenticity, vulnerability, and sacredness. It is about the unspoken understanding, the sense of profound recognition, the moments of grace where something true and beautiful was exchanged. She will remember the way you made her feel, about herself, about connection, about life. These soul imprints are not about perfection, but about authenticity and depth. When you offer your genuine, cultivated, heart-centered presence, you offer a gift that continues to resonate, a beautiful echo in the chambers of her being, long after you have parted. This is the art of becoming truly unforgettable. Unfolding grace. As we journey through the layers of inner cultivation, purified purpose, and sacred connection, we arrive at a place where the pursuit of an unforgettable encounter transforms into an experience of unfolding grace. This is not something that can be strategically engineered or forced into existence through sheer will. Rather, grace arises as a natural consequence of aligning oneself with deeper principles of love, respect, presence, and authenticity. It is the beautiful, often unexpected flowering that occurs when the conditions are right, when the hearts are open, and when the connection is approached with reverence rather than ego. This unfolding grace is perhaps the most profound and truly unforgettable aspect of any deep human union. Grace in this context manifests as a sense of ease, flow, and naturalness in the interaction. The striving ceases, the performance dissolves. What remains is a luminous, present moment awareness where actions arise spontaneously and intuitively, perfectly attuned to the needs and responses of both individuals. It feels less like doing and more like being danced. There's a profound sense of rightness, of things unfolding exactly as they should, without anxiety or the need to control. This feeling of effortless harmony, where two beings move in perfect synchronicity, both physically and energetically, is a hallmark of grace. It's as if a larger intelligence, a loving wisdom, is guiding the encounter. This unfolding grace often brings with it a sense of transcendence, a feeling of being lifted beyond the ordinary confines of the self and the mundane. For moments, the illusion of separation may dissolve, giving way to an experience of oneness, of profound interconnectedness, not just with each other, but with something larger. These are the peak experiences that touch the soul most deeply, leaving an indelible imprint of wonder and awe. Such moments cannot be willed, but they can be invited by cultivating a space of profound trust, openness, and sacred intention. When grace visits, it bestows a blessing that elevates the entire experience beyond mere physical pleasure into the realm of spiritual communion. The memory of such an encounter, touched by grace, is not just a recollection of events, but a lingering sense of peace, gratitude, and a renewed faith in the beauty of human connection. It becomes a sacred touchstone, a reminder of the profound depths that are possible when two people meet with open hearts and pure intent. She will remember not your skill, but the quality of your being that allowed such grace to unfold between you. She will remember the feeling of being part of something sacred, something that nourished her spirit and left her feeling more whole, more alive, more deeply herself. This is the gift of grace, and it is truly unforgettable because it transforms from within. Therefore, the ultimate path to creating a connection she will never forget is not found in seeking to manipulate or impress, but in becoming a vessel for grace. This means doing the inner work to clear your own channel, to purify your intentions, to cultivate unwavering presence, and to approach every encounter with reverence and an open heart. When you make yourself a conduit for love, respect, and profound human kindness, you create the conditions for grace to naturally arise and bless the space between you. And an experience blessed by such unfolding grace, where both spirits feel seen, honored, and uplifted, is a gift that echoes through a lifetime, a luminous thread woven into the very fabric of her soul and yours. To walk this path is to seek not a conquest, but a sacred meeting of souls, where the forgotten art of true human connection is remembered and rekindled. It is a journey of becoming, moment by moment, the kind of presence in whose company another human being can touch the essence of their own light, and in that shared illumination find an echo that will resonate through all their days. This resonated so deeply. It's not about techniques, but about becoming a safe, sacred space for another. The idea of unfolding grace and the lasting echo of a soul connection rather than just a physical one, it's a completely different paradigm for intimacy. Truly profound and beautifully articulated. Thank you.